So to update the firmware on your Cobra X, first download the firmware file. So go to skyzonehobbies.com and click on the download menu. And under firmware, you'll see a list of all the goggles. So if you have the Cobra X version 1, simply download the Cobra X file. Whereas if you have the Cobra X V2, click on the version 2 file. To check which version of Cobra X model you have, you can do that in your goggles. So under the system menu, if you click on the firmware, you'll see the version of the firmware that you have. So if you see FW201, then that's version 1 of the Cobra X. And if you see FW202, then that's the second version of the Cobra X goggles. The only difference between version 1 and version 2 is that the version 2 can record the DVR footage in 60 FPS. Other than that, both the versions are identical. So download the right file for your Cobra X. So extract the zip file we just downloaded. And now using a USB-C cable, I'll connect the Cobra X to the computer. So after connecting the goggles to the computer, you'll have to initiate the firmware mode on the Cobra X. And to do that, hold the left dial and press the power button. And your computer should detect the Cobra X as an external drive and you should see a window pop up. So now the Cobra X is ready to install the new firmware. And here you'll see three files. One is a file, the other is a B file. Both of these are the firmware files in bin format. And there's a text document which has the release information. So you can read that if you want. So we'll first install the A file. And you'll have to do this step by step. So copy the A file and paste it in the goggle directory. So as the file is being copied, the firmware is also being updated. And this will take about 5 minutes or so. So once the first file is finished copying, we can now copy the B file. So similarly, click on copy and then paste it in the goggle directory and let that finish as well. So once the files are finished copying, you can click on eject and safely remove the goggles. And to check the firmware version, power up your goggles and under system settings, go to firmware and see what version of firmware you have. So that's how you update the firmware on your Cobra X. And that's about it. That's all I had to share in this video. If you found this video helpful, please consider to subscribe and like the video. And if you have any other questions, you can comment them. So thanks a lot for watching.